Hello, everybody. Sinus111 here, and welcome back to more Civilization VII. I would have started to get a clue on what I need to do next if not for the fact that we haven't studied hegemony yet. But despite that, we have reached our first official milestone for the Geographic Society cultural path, with one artifact ahead of where we need to be. Though I suppose that all we need to do is look for every artifact we can, exploration or antiquity, so our efforts can really shine through. Maybe it won't really matter if we get hegemony completed or not, but it may still be a good idea to get it done so we won't have to fret about it later. I think I'm gonna just go ahead and support every single diplomatic action from here on out, since diplomacy doesn't really matter all that much this late in the game. At least I don't think it does. Our explorer has arrived at this natural wonder, which is good. And I'm getting so many citizens in all my cities. Or settlements, as the game calls them. Wow. Muscle memory is really getting out of hand at this point.
Faraway strangers should be no less of a concern than our immediate neighbors.
We got globalism going for us. And I think what we should do next is... I think Yeah, hegemony was what I said I would be going for next before anything else. We got a social policy slot and a celebration coming up. More culture for 10 turns. +2 culture from specialists, but plus 50% specialist happiness maintenance. Fireside chats and suffrage we get from democracy. I think I'll do suffrage for +3 culture from specialists, but -3 production in towns. At least it would get hegemony done faster. Only 10 turns until completion. I honestly thought it would take longer than that. I mean, when I did select hegemony, I saw that it would be done in 15 turns, but the policy I enacted shortened that time by a factor of... well, it shortened it to 2/3 the original time, let's just say. At the majestic Uluru, archaeologists, paleontologists, geologists, and botanists survey the local environs. Soon, museum curators will shape their findings into a display to capture the imagination of the public. That's our 7th artifact achieved. Another artifact to excavate in Guess it's an antiquity artifact, so we'll have to see what lies abound. Our explorer has also arrived at Mount Kilimanjaro. We'll soon be on our 8th artifact already. And let me get a department store going down here. Resource assignments available. But where to put them? I wonder. Well, if they're unassigned, then... Oh, so they're all factory resources. So that means I'm gonna have to start producing factories if I want to make more out of them in a specific city. We got a tornado outbreak. Yay. And it's in Aquileia, too. Perfecto. But an excavation has already been started there, so... Uh-oh. Research... So does this mean I have to wait until until whoever is excavating there is done? But it would potentially mean that the artifact would no longer be available for me to display, would it? I have no idea, and I'm honestly kind of a little meh about this, to be honest. It would definitely hinder my progress towards achieving the cultural victory in this game. An opera house is another building I can build. And it'll go here for 10 culture and 3 influence. Again, can't really do anything with these resources that I've accumulated, since most of them are factory resources.
We annihilated the world before your very ears. You will be relieved, I hope, to learn that we didn't mean it.
We got radio unlocked, but we failed the quest to have 20 to have 5 radio stations within 20 turns. So that's not really ideal. But oh well. I guess I can do industrialization next then. And I'll have to keep repairing some stuff in Aquileia too. Nope. Not a grist mill. That was all the tornado damaged, to my surprise. Looks like Jose has already claimed the artifact that I was intending. I could hopefully excavate something over here in Krung Sri Ayutthaya, if I'm lucky, and no other explorer has gotten to it before me. At the majestic Mount Kilimanjaro, archaeologists, paleontologists... Okay, it's saying the same thing, so no need to read through all that again. Save you a bunch of time. I'll have my explorer go over here since it is an archaeological site.
We feel free because we lack the very language to articulate our unfreedom.
We got hegemony researched. Legacy path, Geographic Society 5. Where an archaeologist sees fragments and glimpses that rarely line up, the public sees something different. Perhaps more discoveries will complete the mosaic. Yeah. You have displayed 8 artifacts and completed the first milestone along the Geographic Society Culture Legacy path. I got that taken care of all by myself. Your new knowledge of hegemony now reveals antiquity artifacts when researching continents. Consider returning to continents you've already researched to find more ruins. Revealing antiquity artifacts on a continent will give you a free artifact. Next objective, display 10 artifacts. I'll accept, especially learning that I only have 2 artifacts left to dig up for the next milestone. Still no to the Alliance, Lafayette. I'm sorry to say. And I'm gonna do Mastery of Nationalism next. Only takes 5 turns to complete, though I'm not sure if it's really necessary at this time. I think I'm definitely going to go for Captains of Industry once the Nationalism Mastery is completed. I'm going to do a cultural festival in the capital while I see fit. Go away. Don't have any factories to do this on. And lucky me, I get to dig up an artifact, which is probably going to be from the Exploration Age. I need to get going if I want to find enough artifacts from the Antiquity Age, too.
The members of the nation will never know most of their fellow members. Yet in the mind of each lives the image of their communion.
Okay. And, yep, Captains of Industry, here we come. Town specialization. I'll need to check when we can get a factory in here. Okay. We can get a rail station once this is completed. Let me view the tree real quick. Okay, so we can get a factory with mass production, though it's going to combine both it's going to require both industrialization and combustion to unlock. Looks like another explorer got to that dig-up site before we did. But we still can get to this little zone. I hope it's possible that we can. Still talking to me about surplus influence because I have the thing set to tutorials. Oh, we got an explorer from Lafayette coming along. We got 3 little sites to dig up. If I fail to get to that one, at least I can get to one of these 3. Archaeologists have discovered a site from the Antiquity Age. After conducting a careful excavation, they unearthed a Khmer set of tools. So that's our first Antiquity Age artifact now on display. A tenement is new. I think it's time for a radio station to come down. There looks to be an antiquity artifact right here within my empire's borders that I do intend to take. Did a cultural festival in Roma again.
And was Jerusalem builded here, among these dark satanic mills?
We got industrialization and finally unlocked the rail station, a couple of which I will go ahead and build very soon. Yeah, combustion is what I'll have to do next to get mass production to unlock. Oh, if I had got to that before us. But I still got these 3 sites to see what I can make of them.
I would rather earn 1% of 100 people's efforts than 100% of my own efforts.
We got captains of industry, and in turn, we unlocked the rail yard. Support because I don't really care, and I've got more than enough influence to last me until the end of the game. If we do wartime manufacturing, then we can unlock the Statue of Liberty wonder. And we do have production advantage towards the Statue of Liberty, since it's a wonder that can be found in America in the real life. In case you don't know. And there we go. Wonder what we can unearth. And we've reached one of the sites before anyone else could. Pretty nice to know. Lafayette has joined democracy, the same as me. I think I've officially joined democracy. Not really 100% sure. I think you automatically join if you research the civic associated with its government type. I don't think there are any improvements left for me to build in Shangle, so I'm a little curious about what the additional population's gonna go towards. I'll have to build a rail station on top of one of my existing improvements, which I'm open to. Yeah. All aboard! On the new train station's platform, a young woman weaves among plumes of steam and chattering crowds. Clutching a suitcase tight, she looks around one last time before climbing up into the train that will take her into the future. We get 1,000 happiness towards the next celebration. That's definitely nice. It's an alliance with Lafayette, but unfortunately, no. And our relationship has been deteriorating. A rail yard? So that's the industrial park right here that the game is saying. And I gotta place it here to complete it. At least it will be completed in 8 turns, according to projections. Panic at the Music Hall. Entranced by the creative potential of radio, a theater company creates a unique broadcast. Mysterious lights in the sky, troops deployed, and citizens under siege. It's a thrilling new kind of story, but unfortunately, many believe it's really happening. I suppose that's why media literacy matters.
What's good for M&M Enterprises is good for the country.
Wartime manufacturing. And it's a shame you didn't include an ampersand in there. So it could be what's good for M&M Enterprises is good for chocolate manufacturing. That's a joke. Rail yard. I don't really know where my industrial park is in here. But no matter. I can get that done as soon as I can say I can get it done. Just as I can do Mastery of Globalism in just 4 turns. I don't think that made a bunch of sense, but okay. We've completed our next milestone and got a cultural legacy point. Okay, it's the drum set from the Exploration Age. The past, it seems, has not passed. Students wander the halls of our museums, lost in time. You have displayed 10 artifacts and completed the 2nd milestone along the Geographic Society Culture Legacy path. Remember, artifacts can be found through excavating ruins and natural wonders, narrative events, and overbuilding your settlements. Next objective, display 15 artifacts, the 3rd and final milestone along the Geographic Society Legacy path. Won't be long now, but I think that's Lafayette up there, and he is kind of ahead of me on the cultural legacy by a small margin. I'm definitely gonna have to step up my game here. So I think this is the last of the improvements that I can build in Shangle. And that's all the artifacts I can unearth in sadly. I suppose the only way I can do so is by overbuilding or narrative events. Or what was that other one? Natural Wonders is the other one. I don't think the Bermuda Triangle would count as a natural wonder, since it is located in the open ocean. I could go exploring down here to see if there are any other things I can do to get my relic count, to get my blah. I'm sure there's got to be something down there I can make use of to get my artifact count up. I unearthed a drum. Decrease your relationship with the other leader. Haven't really interacted with Ashoka all that much, to be honest. I can reject for 180 influence, which I just now did. Ashoka already has an explorer there, but maybe I'll have some better luck down here. Goodness gracious. I don't know when I'll run out of policy slots at this point.
So readily do people adapt themselves to the marvelous contrivances which modern inventive ingenuity has devised.
We got combustion unlocked and 3 different ships. I guess next should be mass production, so I can finally unlock a couple of factories.
The well-being of faraway strangers should be no less of a concern.
That's globalism mastered. And let's do militarism. Oh, someone got to the artifact site before me. Oh dear. I'm fast running out of opportunities for me getting a cultural victory. And I don't think there is a way to trade in this game either, so that's a problem. But there is an opportunity for me to do a couple of future civics, so I can receive an artifact at each time I complete them. Oh boy, wow. Wowee. This is a crippling blizzard. That is pretty big. And it's causing mass destruction of my improvements. The literary machine. The rise of American industry has changed its very imagination. As the machines of production roar onward, much literature begins to reflect a longing for the simple past and the rawness of emotion and nature. Other authors take the opportunity to criticize society's present through realistic snapshots. In times of progress, one must reflect on what is constant. Indeed. Get a cultural festival going. Get another cultural festival going. I can assign sugar to one of my cities. But still nothing else. which is potentially troubling. I'm not sure if the blizzard is gonna destroy those again during the time in between turns, but here's hoping it doesn't. Those are Marine units if I've ever seen one. Now we can be better prepared for any hostilities that come about. And during this crippling blizzard, too. It's moving to the northwest. Alright, that looks like it's about... Oh no, wait, I still have to repair my buildings on top of that. Alright, I think that's it for now. How was Fox's unassigned? I think it was because of that crippling blizzard that destroyed the associated improvement. I mean, if I want an industrial zone district, I guess this may be the way to go. Oh dear. I do have an artifact, but I don't have any slots to display it, so that's why it's still only showing 10. Prioli... Oh no. Okay, there's gotta be... I don't see anything over in the town focus section that can treat one of these buildings as a museum, so I guess I'll have to convert to a city right now. For more options. Yep, I can go ahead and purchase a museum right now. Like so, and I can therefore place this drum right here. Okay, I got 10, 13 total slots, so I'll need to get 2 more down if I want to have some more... If I want to have some more relics to no, artifacts to display. Yeah, that's it. Took me a little bit to know what words I want to use. Especially since there's been a lot of muscle memory going on between Civ 7 and Civ 6. Okay, so me and Lafayette, it looks like we are tied for the same amount of relics being displayed in museums and in the palace. And what I'm thinking I should do is I should ignore the masteries for militarism, hegemony, and capitalism and just go straight for future civics all the way. But that also does mean that I'm gonna have to get as high a culture output as I can so I can complete as many future civics as I can, and in return get many more artifacts to display in my museums, so long as I have the slots for it. But I'm gonna leave that for the next part, and I'm gonna have to see what I'll have to do for that. I'll no doubt have to convert some more of my towns into cities. But despite the happiness penalty for having too many cities, I suppose it could be manageable. But until I have a plan set in stone, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you then. Bye!